People, what's good, what's good? How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. All right, a couple of things before we get started. This Saturday, we are going to do a live watch-along for Tyson Fury versus Dereck Chisora. We haven't done a watch-along in ages. I can't remember the last one we did. It might be Haney Kambosos, the first fight. It might be that long ago, but we are definitely doing it this Saturday. We're going to get going at 7:30. Tyson Fury Chisora ring walk, I think, is scheduled for 9 o'clock, so we'll cover a couple of the undercard fights, so make sure you do tune in. It really helps the channel. And as we lead up to all the fights on the weekend, because it isn't just Fury Chisora, there is a big fight in America as well. We're going to do a live on Friday evening, so a live on Friday, a live on Saturday. I'm trying to see what football matches are on Friday so we don't clash with anything. But if there isn't a big football match at 7 o'clock, we'll do a live this Friday, 7 o'clock, talking about the Fury Chisora fight, and then the live watch along on Saturday. So please, if you can, make sure you do tune in for both lives. We might, this is me going a bit deep now, we might do a live on Thursday as well. I'm not working Thursday, so look, I'll put it in the community tabs, but for right now, guaranteed rock solid live watch along on Saturday and a live sort of build up to the fight on Friday. That's what we're going to do. All right, let's talk about Fury Chisora. Look, it doesn't, maybe because I'm not working on the event, it just doesn't feel like there's this big fight coming up on Saturday. And it is a big fight, regardless of how you feel about Fury taking on Chisora. When the heavyweight champion of the world, and he is the #1 heavyweight, fights, it should be big, and it always is big. This doesn't quite feel like it. The press conference is on Thursday. I'm going to go to that. I'll probably go to the weigh-ins as well, and then I guess it will start to really sort of amp up a little bit. What chance does Dereck Chisora have? Like, what chance does he have? And not just a puncher's chance, right? I mean, as we all know, anything can happen in the heavyweight division. But do you guys give him more than just a puncher's chance? And if you don't, then as a percentage, like on a percentage scale, what do you give him? This might be the lowest percentage scale I've ever given anyone in a fight, especially at the top level. I remember when Lomachenko fought Kroller, and I think I gave him a 5% chance. I think I'm going to give Chisora a bit more than that, and I'll give you my reasons. But obviously, Fury is a massive, massive favourite in this one, just because Fury is that good, if I'm honest with you. He's a very, very good fighter. I will say this, though. I watched the second fight they had. That was a couple of fights, I think, before Fury took on Klitschko. That Fury there, for me, that Fury is better than the Fury now. Some of you will disagree, and I understand why you would disagree, because Fury's gone on to have some really good wins, right? Klitschko and Wilder 3 times as far as I'm concerned, and Dillian White recently. But that Fury there, for me, is just almost perfect, right? His movement is good, his punch power, he's really light on his feet. I don't know if you've seen, but Fury's recently posted a video of him, I think the night before in Germany, in his hotel room. How lean does he look? That Fury there weighed around 240 pounds. Same as the Fury that fought Chisora the second time round. The Fury that has fought Wilder, the second and the third fights, weighed in and around 280 pounds. The Fury that fought Dillian White, I think, was 265. For me, the perfect Fury is that guy there, 243, 244 pounds, because he's light on his feet. He still carries that power, but he's just his movement is a lot better. Don't get me wrong, look, Fury right now, he's still very, very good. But I think what we've seen with Fury right now is that he's prepared to sit there and have a trade up with you, which is more exciting for the fans. But for Fury, I think the lighter Fury is better. So what I'm getting at here is that I think Chisora fought a better Fury the second time round than he's going to face on Saturday. Some might argue that Chisora's declined a lot since that second fight as well, and you're probably right. But I think the best Fury was Klitschko, Christian Hamer, Dereck Chisora Fury. Again, 244 pounds, whatever it was, light on his feet, can still hit hard, right? I mean, go and see Chisora's face second time round. I mean, that he busts him up, so he can still punch. But I just feel like he was better. This Fury now, I think, is just a bit too heavy. And look, that's how he dominates fights, right? He dominates them because he's just so much bigger than his opponent. But I do think the other Fury is better. As for Chisora, look, it's been a long, long career. How Chisora is still fighting at the top table of heavyweight boxing after so many defeats and so many tough, vicious, brutal fights, I have no idea. He's almost done something that surprises me. Like, I thought every time Chisora loses a big one, like when he lost to Dillian White the second time round, I thought that could be that. I thought that knockout was vicious and it could be that. And then somehow he rebuilds. He has a loss, Joseph Parker, and then he rebuilds Pulev. He always just stays around, doesn't he? Always stays around, always puts up commendable performances. Not great performances. The Pulev one wasn't great, but it was a commendable performance. And now, in hindsight, you look back and you look at the Usyk performance, and that one almost seems to get better with age, considering what Usyk's gone on to do. So he's always there or thereabouts, but he simply doesn't have the tools required, I don't think, to upset Tyson Fury. No chance. Again, I might have just spoken about Fury sort of being a lot heavier now and maybe slower on his feet and stand in the pocket, and those things could benefit Chisora because Chisora doesn't want to have to chase him around the ring. But Chisora's a lot slower. Chisora's punch output, I don't think, is what it was. And that I stand to be corrected on that, but it does seem as though he throws less punches. It seems to be hard work for him now. And he's going to go in there against a man that is just, right now, confidence levels are on 100. Like, Fury, I don't think thinks he can be beaten by anyone right now. And, I mean, if you've been hit by Wilder and you've been able to get up, you're not even thinking you can be knocked out right now. Honestly, if you're Fury, you know, like, whoever's fighting Fury is going to have to land something so, like that punch that Wilder landed in the third fight, where Fury's body kind of just done a bit of that. How Fury got up from that. We saw what that punch, like we saw what half a punch did to Hellenius. Fury felt the full force of that fucking Mack truck and still got up. So Fury's probably thinking, you can't knock me out, Chisora. You can't outbox me. I think Fury has a better gas tank than Chisora. So it's going to be a difficult night's work. What I will say, and we'll end on this one, you can't keep taking that kind of punishment. Like, don't get me wrong, Chisora's taken a lot of punishment as well. But those punches that Fury took from Wilder, it might surprise you one day where it just catches up to you. It just catches up. What do they call it? Father time. I don't know what else they call it, but it could just catch up to you. But it won't catch up to him on Saturday night, I don't believe. We'll discuss it on the live on Friday, and you guys can all chirp in with your opinions. But I think Fury could stop him. Chisora is tough, but if Fury really puts it on him, I think Fury gets him out of there. Maybe mid to late 7, maybe round 7, 8, 9. But yeah, it should be a fun fight nonetheless. Like, it's going to be way more entertaining, I think, than Fury White, which isn't difficult to be more entertaining then. But I think I don't give Chisora much of a chance. So back on that percentage scale, I'd probably give him a 10% chance, just because it's heavyweight boxing. That's it. That's the only chance I give him. But again, I expect it to be fun for a few rounds, because one thing we do know is Chisora will fight. Like, literally, he's old school gladiator type, and he'll fight to the fucking death, Chisora. So yeah, it should be a good fight. But yeah, again, live watch along this Saturday, 7:30. We're going to get going. I'm thanking you in advance for tuning in, because I know you will tune in. Another big card, and for me, a much, much better fight this Saturday live on DAZN is the trilogy between Estrada and Chocolatito. Wow. When you think of high-level boxing, this is it, right? You want to watch something special. You want to watch two practitioners of the game dish out some A-level type boxing, then tune in for Estrada Chocolatito. I think Chocolatito is such a special fighter. And I have to admit, hands up, when he lost to Rungvisai back-to-back, so when he got beat and then on points and he got knocked out, I kind of thought, okay, that was that. And then he had a couple of fights in between. Then he fought Yafai. And at the time, say what you want about Yafai. Yafai was a legit world champion, had beaten the likes of Estrada and Israel Gonzalez. So legit, like it wasn't just a belt given to Yafai. He defended it a few times against decent opposition. The way in which he kind of destroyed Yafai, I was thinking, geez, like Rungvisai must have been special. And then he had this fight against Estrada, which for me he won. And then obviously the fight against Julio Cesar Martinez, where again he just showed levels. I think right now, even at 35, I almost feel like he's, I don't want to say getting better, but there's been no slippage. Where with Estrada, I thought he lost the second Chocolatito fight. If it wasn't for the knockdown against Cortez, I think that fight is razor thin. And Cortez was put in for Estrada to look good against. I feel like Estrada's maybe starting to come on the decline. He's the younger of the two. He's 32, but I think he's on the way down, Estrada. So I expect Chocolatito to get the job done. What I really am desperate to see, and I know Eddie's talking about a flyweight tournament, I want to see Bam, who's going to be there, I'm told, on Saturday. I want to see Bam versus Chocolatito at Superfly. I'm desperate to see it because Bam is literally running through the older statesman, right? He destroyed Quadrasi, destroyed Rungvisai. Didn't look good last time out on the Canelo Bivol undercard, but everyone can have a night off. I just want to see Chocolatito, the elder statesman, for me, the best of this era of super flyweights, take on the new king or new kid on the block in Bam, before Bam goes down and takes on some of the flyweights and Martinez and Sonny Edwards. So that's what I want to happen. We'll see if it does happen. But yeah, look, 2 good nights of boxing, right? I mean, I don't know if you're one of those people that stay up through the night, but I might just do it. I don't want to know the outcome of the fight with Chocolatito Estrada without watching it. But aside from that, it's a decent card that DAZN have put on. They seem to be able to put on really thick American cards, especially sort of within this region. They put on really thick cards in America, so I think this is one of them. All right, should we have a look and see? By the way, I just saw David Adeleye, the unbeaten heavyweight, just go past. He stopped. And he had some nice words to say to me. So if he's watching this video right now, I appreciate the words, brother. Thank you very much. I shouted him out on the broadcast on Saturday. I think I said something like Fabio Wardley should fight Adeleye or Fraser Clark. So maybe you saw that. Let's start with this one. Pro grade. Right now, I feel like I'm the man in the 140-pound division, better than Taylor. No. Yes. Like the record books say Taylor's unbeaten, right? I know we all saw the Jack Catchall fight and a lot of people had it Catchall's way, but the record books say Taylor's unbeaten. Taylor's beaten Prograis. Taylor's gone to America and beaten Ramirez. Taylor's resume, I feel like we've, again, because of that Jack Catchall fight, I feel like we've almost just wiped his resume from history. Taylor's resume is incredible. You don't become undisputed at 140 the way he did as well. It's not like he beat one person and collected all the belts. I'm never a fan of that, by the way. I'm never a fan of someone going to do all the work, collecting all the belts, and then one person just coming along and beating that person and becoming undisputed. Josh Taylor went around and collected all the belts, and that deserves its respect. And he didn't fight bums. He fought unbeaten champions, really good fighters, experienced guys, young guys, hungry guys. So for me, Josh Taylor's still number 1, Prograis number 2, and then the rest can fight between themselves. Dillian White defends performance. I went into the fight with a bicep injury, chest infection. Remember what I said about Craig Richards? I said Craig Richards pulled out of his fight because he wasn't feeling well. And I said it was the right thing to do because if you look shit after the fight, people are not going to accept your excuse of I just wasn't feeling well. And I feel like this is the same with Dillian White. People are not going to accept that excuse, are they? It was just a bad performance. Just leave it as that. We move on. It was a bad performance. New trainer, etc., etc. Say that instead. I think that's better. Me and Buddy are trying to work things out. It wasn't great. A lot of pressure. And we move on. I see Jared Anderson, the unbeaten American heavyweight, is called out Dillian White. What did he say? He said something like, I want to get it up. I don't want to make a mistake. Because I responded to it. Because I'm quite vocal on Twitter. See if I can get it up for you guys. Apologies, peeps. So Jared Anderson's, what did he say? He said, can you feed me this bum? So he called Dillian White a bum. I said, look, I love the call out. White obviously didn't look great last time out, but not sure about the bum part. White ain't no Rovkanin or Teslenko. That's the two fights that Jared Anderson had. And look, Jared Anderson, by the way, I think is an incredible talent and could be one of the guys to watch in the next, 2 or 3 years in the heavyweight division. But as bad as White did look on Saturday, again, I repeat myself, White ain't no Rovkanin or Teslenko. And what I mean by that, and I think you guys know, but what I mean by that is like the jump from D-level fighters to even B- in the heavyweight division or just in boxing in general, it's a big jump, It's a big jump. I'm guilty of getting overexcited about fighters that look amazing against C and D level guys. As soon as they step up to a B, not an A, just a B, you realise, okay, let's pause, let's hit the brakes. I'd always refer to Andre Berto. Look, Andre Berto went on to become a world champion, so this isn't a dig at him. But I remember when Andre Berto was coming through and he was icing fighters. He had the speed, the power, I was like, he had the aggression. Literally, Andre Berto had everything. And I was thinking, oh my God, this guy is going to literally own the welterweight division. I remember he stepped up against Luis Collazo. Luis Collazo is a good B-level fighter. He's not an A-level fighter. He's a good B-level fighter. Luis Collazo won that fight, as far as I'm concerned. I remember thinking, huh? And then he stepped up against Victor Ortiz. Again, another good B-level fighter. And Victor Ortiz beat him. And that's what I'm trying to say. When you take those jumps up in level, it can get very deep very quickly. And so as much as I like Jared Anderson, I need to see him in against someone that is at least B-level before he can call Dillian White a bum. And look, again, I appreciate the call out, and maybe that's just the way Americans talk. It's brash, isn't it? Maybe that's just how they are. I want to shout out this young lady. Hopefully I'll get her name correct. Amy Greatorex. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Amy Greatorex is a young boxer, female, that's was about to make her debut on Saturday in one of the small hall shows. Now, a lot of you guys probably understand how the small hall shows work. Unfortunately, if you don't sell tickets, it's very difficult to get on those shows. She put out a tweet saying, I've got to Wednesday, so that's tomorrow, to sell another £700 worth of tickets, or my fight's being pulled. Beyond gutted after the journey I've been on and the time it's taken to get to this point. And I love the way the boxing world kind of rallied behind her and said, look, I'll buy the tickets. And I offered as well. I said, look, I'll buy some. And I DM'd her, and I'm going to buy some tickets. And hopefully her fight, I think it's next week Friday in Barnsley. Obviously, we've got the show, the Josh Warrington show in Leeds on Saturday. And I said, look, hopefully we can come down. And how cool would that be? Like, for the DAZN crew, Eddie, Tony Bear, everyone, literally just to descend on her fight. And that's why I like boxing. We can come together as a community very quickly. She reached out to me. All the tickets, at least her allocation's been sold, but I said I'm going to help her out regardless. What we got here? 2 secs. What's this one? Josh Kelly vows top performance against Troy Williamson. Really, really good fight, that one. I think that's next Saturday as well. Jesus, so much boxing on at the same time. It's crazy. Crawford, Jake Paul definitely became a professional in boxing. Now time to fight a real boxer. Yeah, look, I'd like. He was going to, wasn't he? He was going to fight Hasim Rahman. That's a real boxer. And then, all the weight issues, it fell off. I've seen Jake. I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. Jake got a good hand, I spoke to Lawrence Okoli about Jake Paul. Obviously, Lawrence Okoli, I think, done a bit of sparring with him. Everyone said he's decent. The idea of him still being classed as a YouTube boxer, I think, is dead in the water. I cover that YouTube boxing stuff for DAZN. He's way better than those guys. He can fight. So, not quite sure. Fury here saying Mayweather is 45 and fighting YouTubers. It's very difficult to let go of boxing. It is, very, very difficult. Did you see Kell Brook's interview? I think he done something with Boxing King Media, and he's like, it feels like death. Like, he's been doing it for 20 plus years. Like, Kell, I think, has been in the Winklebank gym since he was 8 or 9, and that's it. Stops. And not everyone could become a trainer or a manager or a promoter. And that's sometimes why I look at Mayweather doing this stuff, this YouTube boxing stuff, and I think he just wants to. It's difficult for him to let go. And He just wants to be out there. It's very similar to him, like, the weigh-ins and the rings, the stadiums or arenas are always packed, and I think he just likes it. And I would be shocked if a lot of... Ricky Hatton did it recently. Obviously, it wasn't usual, but Ricky Hatton did it with Barrera. It's their way of still continuing. Remember, like, boxing doesn't have no senior tournament. Like, this isn't senior golf or tennis or whatever, or even what the footballers do. So it's very difficult for it just to stop. So I don't mind Mayweather still doing this because I think it helps him. And I'll be surprised if a lot of boxers don't do it. Be surprised. Dillian White here saying, I won clearly, so why would I consider a rematch with Jermaine Franklin? The rematch isn't going to happen, but you certainly did not win clearly. Certainly not at all. I'm going to do a video on this. I might do it now, actually. I'm going to do a separate video. I think it deserves a separate video. Wilder's manager, Shelley Finkel, talking about he wants to get the deal done with AJ. He wants it done, like they're ready. I want to do a separate video because chaos in Lagos is a real thing. It's a real thing. It really, it 100% should happen in Nigeria. Don't give me Middle East. Don't give me Madison Square Garden or Wembley. AJ Wilder, chaos in Lagos. You want to be remembered like a Rumble in the Jungle and a Thriller in Manila. Chaos in Lagos. Let's make it happen. All right. The boxing South Africa, the BSA Commission have suspended Zolani Tete's license as UK investigation continues. Obviously, Zolani Tete failed. I think I'm hearing it was numerous drug tests in the lead up or in the aftermath of his recent fight. We wait to see what's going to happen. A couple of big drug cases recently, isn't it? All right, girls and guys, don't forget, we're going to do something on Saturday. We're going to do something on Friday. I'm going to do more videos in the lead up to it anyway, so I'm going to keep reminding you. Remember, hit that subscribe button, support your boy. We're going to do more videos. We're back. Peace.